Not a hijack. Why smart people come apart under pressure, and the 4-move reset. I've lost a room before I even started because I was nervous. You might know what it's like. The heat climbs, your voice tightens, the words you plan to say evaporate, or you say things you can't take back. And the rest of the meeting, no one even hears a single correct point that you make. We call it the amygdala hijack. The story itself is over 30 years old and the science has progressed. The new picture is more accurate. It hands you back the wheel. I'll give you 4 moves to grab it with. I'm Michael Bruner. The research on how people work is exploding. I translate that research into ideas you can use to get heard and get ahead and find your secret weapon. By the end of this video, you'll 1. Know why hijack is the wrong word and what the science actually says now. Get the Seesaw, the 2-part system in your head so you can tip it on purpose. And you'll have 4 moves that you can use when the heat rises to get back to the present. Present in your head, present with breathing, presence in your body, and presence with the audience. Let's jump straight in. It's a seesaw, not a hijack. The phrase amygdala hijack came from Daniel Goleman in 1995 in his book, Emotional Intelligence. It describes what happens when the brain's emotional center, the amygdala, triggers a response that overrides rational thinking. He translated the lab work of Joseph LeDoux and brought the work to the masses. I am grateful for it because emotional intelligence has changed how we work. But that phrase is so vivid that our understanding got a little bit hijacked. Hijack tells you this is a total takeover. The brain is offline and you are gone until the chemicals clear. Locked in the trunk of your own head. Believe that, and in your worst professional moments, you have no move. You're powerless. You just wait. Your alert system was designed to protect you from real physical dangers, like being eaten by a lion. But is it purely automatic? What if there really isn't any physical danger? Maybe the brain isn't fully offline. Maybe we have a choice. There's a line often credited to Viktor Frankl. Between stimulus and response, there's a space. And in that space, we have the ability to choose our response. The science has progressed since the 1990s and has confirmed something that the word hijacked hides. The alarm going off and what you do in response are 2 different systems. The alert is automatic. The response is yours. The brain scans show the mechanism. The amygdala, the threat alarm, and the prefrontal cortex, your thinking system, are not winner and loser. They're 2 ends of a seesaw. When one rises, the other falls. This is the balance that tips, not a switch that flips. So the alarm is not a flaw, it's a feature. The problem is believing that you have no hand on the other end. And it's not only a meeting problem. The seesaw tips at the dinner table and at the front seat of a car. A balance of tips is a balance that you can lean on. Since the room isn't actually trying to hurt you, every move that follows is a way back to the now, to the present. Presence with your state of mind, presence with your breath, presence with your body, and presence with your audience in the room. The brain is offline and you are gone until the chemicals clear. Locked in the trunk of your own head. Believe that, and in your worst professional moments, you have no move. You're powerless. You just wait. Be present with your state of mind. You cannot quiet a feeling that you cannot name. The instant anxiety starts to rise, take note of it and name it. Silently is fine. This is a threat, not real danger. Notice it, name it. I'm feeling anxious. That's the whole move. Here's how it works. Naming it is a prefrontal cortex act. To label it, the thinking brain has to identify it, and the language center has to find a word for it. Both live on the thinking end of the seesaw. Researchers have shown that naming a feeling with a word, even a silent one, lowers the amygdala activity. You're not arguing the alarm down, you're stepping on the other end of the lever, and the alarm drops on its own. Kelly McGonigal's research shows why calm down fails. You cannot drop from a high arousal state at 70 miles an hour to 0 in no time. It takes your biology time. Telling yourself to calm down mostly measures how far from calm you actually are. Instead, say, I'm excited. Say it to yourself silently. Say it out loud. Say it to the audience. That upregulates the thinking part of the brain, downregulates the amygdala, and best of all, channels your energy into something positive. Your body is amped up and ready to perform. Use that energy to rise to the occasion. Try it in your next tense moment. Either name it, I'm feeling anxious, or trumpet with the super move, I'm excited. That's the first move in tipping the balance towards your present thinking mind. Move 2. You can breathe your way calm. There are two kinds of breathing, the automatic kind that you never think about, and the kind that you can control on purpose. We want the second kind, the intentional, self-directed breathing controlled by the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's brake. It runs through the 10th cranial nerve called the vagus nerve from your head to your heart. When you take control of your breathing and slow the rate down to somewhere around 4 breaths per minute, you activate the relaxation response. It upregulates the thinking part of the brain and downregulates the amygdala. Plus, it oxygenates the brain for the clarity of mind that you need. The key is simple. It's actually just to make your exhale longer than your inhale. That's it. A long breath out is a manual override to your own nervous system. Here's why it works. It's like a sigh of relief. The long exhale is the fastest physical signal that you could send to your nervous system that the emergency wasn't real. It settles the racing heart and the stress chemicals feeding the alarm, and it buys the prefrontal cortex a little time to get back online. Lower the intensity on the threat end and the thinking end rises. Consider what Navy SEALs do. When they're dropped into a situation when they can't control their circumstances, they can still control their breath. Their recipe is box breathing. That slows you down to about 4 breaths per minute, way below the shallow breathing 20 breaths per second of panic. My own favorite pattern is the 6-2-7. In for 6, hold for 2, out for 7. The same slow rate, but the longer exhale does extra work. The key is to take one of those breaths before you start. Let your breath be your first word. One long out breath and the seesaw starts to move. This is presence with your breath. Move 3. Be present with your body. Your body and the brain talk constantly, and the communication goes both ways. Your thoughts shape your posture, and your posture shapes how you think and feel. The research on embodied cognition is clear. Your physical state steers attention and emotion more than we realize. Under threat, we shrink. Shoulders hunch, the back rounds, we get smaller, we try to be invisible and hide. Some part of you tries to disappear. It's a natural protective move, but that contracted posture signals that something's wrong. So do the opposite. Expand on purpose. Start with your stance. Feet about shoulder width apart, weight even on both sides. There's real power in becoming physically balanced, and it helps you to be cognitively balanced. Because a balanced body becomes a cue for a balanced mind. Then slide your shoulder blades towards your back pockets. This opens up your chest and aligns your spine so you can breathe better. So deeper breathing becomes easier, which cues you to be calm and confident. Now drop your attention to the sensations in your body. Feel your feet pressing to the floor, the weight of your body, your hands, your fingertips. Mindfulness research shows that it pulls you out of that spiral and back into the room. Hold a marker or a pen or a remote. Grip it and then release it. The prop is a tactile anchor. It gives your nervous energy somewhere to go. Press your thumb and forefinger together, or flex your legs together and run one long exhale into that pressure. Do that enough times and it becomes a cue for the body for the calm. Under the table, mid-sentence, no one knows. The goal is not perfect posture, the goal is presence. Stand tall, feel your body, be balanced. Send to yourself the truest message. I am safe, I'm grounded, and I can handle this. Move 4. Be present with your audience. Anxiety is a spotlight pointed at yourself. Turn it around. When the heat rises, your attention collapses inward. How's my voice? How do I look? How am I doing? What are people thinking? Did that land? The more you monitor yourself and your internal thinking, the more the alarm sounds. So do the opposite. Take the attention from inside and focus it on the room. How are they doing? What are they thinking? How are they feeling? What do they need from me right now? How can I serve them? Here's how it works. Self-focused attention is fuel for social fear. Turning outward is a prefrontal act. To see what another person needs, your brain needs to run perspective taking, what researchers call a theory of mind. And what lives on thinking lives on the seesaw and downregulates the amygdala. Tune to the room like an instrument. Focus on them and there's simply less of you left to spin. One fast way is to express genuine curiosity. Say more about that. What makes you say that? Help me understand what you're thinking. The moment you actually want an answer, you've already turned toward them, and that buys you the half second you need. But the move is bigger than any one line. It's holding space and serving what the room actually came for. In your next high-stakes moment, before you grade your performance, ask yourself one thing. What does the room actually need from me? And then give that to them. The fastest way out of your own head is into someone else's. Your one move. None of these moves actually stop the amygdala from firing. That's not the goal. An alarm that never goes off is a broken alarm. The goal is to keep the amygdala from taking the wheel completely, to hold enough center and composure so that you can choose how to respond. The founder of Aikido was asked once how he stayed so perfectly centered. He said, I lose my center all the time. I just find it so quickly that you can't see it. That's the whole skill. It's not about never tipping, it's about recovering fast. One more thing, before the moment ever comes when you're in that room, you can prepare. You can prepare with a good night's sleep. You can help reset your body chemistry by lifting weights or working out or going for a run or a walk or getting outdoors. It can help reset the body chemistry. I've even done squats and push-ups backstage. It helps burn some energy and reset the chemistry a little bit so the seesaw starts a little bit closer to balance. So step back and see the pattern. The hijack is a flight from the present, from a threat that's not even in the room. The way back is presence. Present with yourself and present with the people in front of you. So the next time the heat's rising, remember you have a choice. Try one of these. Say, I'm excited. Breathe with a long exhale. Stand tall and feel your body. Serve the room. Try one of those this week, just one, in a real moment. Put your weight where there's more presence and your balance restores so there's more of your best self. The amygdala is not your captor. It is one end of a lever and you can choose to engage the other side.